Welcome to Fabloria, where we listen, we relax, and we enjoy timeless fairy tale stories. In a distant age, beyond the memory of living men, a poor farmer named Harris lived in a crumbling wooden hut at the edge of Emerald Mountains. His world was small and harsh, yet his heart carried a treasure greater than any king's vault, his only daughter, Elara. She was known throughout the valley for her gentle grace, her dark flowing hair, and a smile that could soften even the coldest morning. To Harris, she was more than a child. She was his reason to endure hunger, storms, and loneliness. Each dawn, Harris arose before the sun. He harvested vegetables and fruits from his modest garden, loaded them into his aging horse-drawn cart, and traveled from village to sell what little he had grown. The earnings were barely enough to buy bread and a few simple necessities, but he never complained. While he was away, Elara tended the house, watered the plants, and spent her quiet hours speaking to birds and dreaming of a kinder world. One winter, Harris fell gravely ill. Fever consumed his body, leaving him unable to leave his bed. Without his daily work, there was no food, no medicine, and no hope. Elara watched helplessly as her father grew weaker, and her heart ached with fear. One morning, gathering her courage, she harnessed the horse herself and drove the cart into the nearby villages. The villagers were surprised to see such a young girl traveling alone, but her sincerity and determination moved them. She sold the produce, earned enough coins, and bought medicine and food. Slowly, Harris began to recover, thanks to her devotion. Around that time, Emperor Cassius of a powerful empire was traveling through the countryside with his army. He was feared across lands for his cruelty and arrogance. When his convoy passed through the village, he noticed Elara in her cart. Her beauty struck him like lightning. He ordered his guards to discover who she was, and when he learned that she was the daughter of a poor farmer, his desire turned into an obsession. Cassius summoned Harras to his palace. Terrified, Harras obeyed. He was shocked by the luxury and the false kindness shown to him. After a lavish meal, the emperor revealed his intention. He wanted Elara as his bride. In return, Harras would live in luxury for the rest of his life. Harras refused, trembling as he spoke, explaining that Elara was young and that such a union was impossible. Cassius's anger erupted. He declared that the wedding would happen the next day, whether Harras agreed or not. Harras returned home broken and pale. When Elara learned of the emperor's plan, she burst into tears and swore she would rather die than become the wife of a tyrant. That night, father and daughter packed what little they had and fled into the darkness. They walked without direction, guided only by fear. Harras's illness worsened during the journey, and he collapsed beneath a large tree. As dawn approached, they saw soldiers riding toward their home and soon after toward the forest. Harras urged Elara to run and save herself. She refused at first, but when the soldiers drew near, he forced her to flee. As she ran through the forest, she encountered a massive white lion with eyes that shone with intelligence. Terrified, she froze. The lion spoke, offering her a strange bargain. He would swallow her to fool the soldiers, then release her unharmed. With no other choice, Ilara agreed. The soldiers witnessed the scene, believed her dead, and fled in terror. When the danger passed, the lion released Ilara. She ran back to find her father, only to discover that the soldiers had killed him. Grief overwhelmed her. She buried him with her own hands and wept until her tears could no longer fall. Alone and hopeless, she wondered what her fate would be. Suddenly, the lion transformed into a young man of noble bearing. He introduced himself as Prince Aiden from a mystical realm. He offered to take Ilara to his world, a place of magic and wonder. With nothing left in the human world, she accepted. In an instant, they vanished into a realm filled with shimmering palaces, glowing forests, and creatures that could change their forms. At the palace, Queen Seraphine welcomed her son warmly and was intrigued by Ilara's presence. Many in the court admired Ilara, but Prince Aiden's cousin Mira felt a burning jealousy. She had always desired the prince, and Ilara's arrival threatened her dreams. One day, while Aiden was away on royal duties, Mira approached Ilara with kindness and curiosity. Ilara, innocent and trusting, told her everything about her father, her escape, and the lion. Mira pretended to sympathize, but secretly plotted revenge. In the human world, Emperor Cassius learned that Ilara was alive. Mira, using forbidden magic, contacted him and promised to bring Ilara back. Cassius agreed without hesitation. Mira convinced Ilara to visit her father's grave, pretending it would bring her peace. When they arrived, Cassius and his soldiers appeared and captured her. Mira betrayed her without remorse. At that moment, Prince Aiden arrived in a storm of fury. He bound the emperor and his soldiers with enchanted chains and rescued Ilara. He confronted Mira and stripped her of her powers as punishment for her betrayal. The emperor was banished, and Ilara returned to the magical realm, safe at last. With time, Ilara healed from her grief. She found peace in the magical world and companionship in Prince Aiden. Together, they began a new life, one built not on fear or power, but on kindness, courage, and love.